Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Today a new summon pool event started in Raid, the Creed summon pool, which gives you a chance to get some Prism Crystals and get some of these limited time Assassin's Creed champions. But is this overall a good summon pool? Typically I like summon pools a lot, but there are some things that I don't quite like about this one. First, thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video and for giving me this wonderful promo link down below in the description there in the QR code. The ideal start to Raid. Start Raid with my link and you can get 3 legendary champions and 3 top tier epic champions all for free. So Tholin Foulbeard after the tutorial, Tuhanarak available from DESERTQUEEN promo code, Ezio Auditore, one of the Assassin's Creed champions available as a login bonus, and then Rector Drath, Venomage, Uugo, 3 absolutely top tier epic champions. And then we have this summon pool event. So this time the headline champions only share a 1.5% chance. Typically there is a 2% chance to pick up the headline champion. This time only 1.5% and there are 4 of them splitting that. So 0.375 each. And one of these is Cassandra, whose fusion event is ongoing right now. So you happen to pick up a headline champion, you get Cassandra and you're already doing Cassandra fusion. Then that would not be so much fun. Then the other legendaries, there are lots of legendaries here that can be used to empower the Assassin's Creed champions. Ozuka empowers Bayek, Abbes empowers Basim, Helior empowers Edward, Cupidus empowers Ezio. I'm not sure, Cassandra is not listed right now in who is the champion that can empower Cassandra. Maybe it's Glycia, but I'm not sure at the moment. There are also 12 epics in this summon pool, including 2 epics that are part of the Mikage fusion, Lady Quillen and Eolfrig, if you still happen to be missing those. And then there's some sweet epics here, because there's like Stag Knight, Deacon, Farakin. So there's some power here, but also some of the weaker epics as well. When you start looking into how good each of these champions are, then Bayek, the Void legendary from the Assassin's Creed collaboration, is probably one of the strongest ones here, and the Void Legendary is typically also the most difficult one to get, so that would be pretty much a jackpot. And when you look at the epics, Deacon is still a phenomenal champion. There's also a fair number of strong pulls here. The Assassin's Creed champions, even though they might not be super strong, all of them, then they are still time limited. You won't be able to get them anymore after the collaboration ends, so there's always some kind of incentive to pull them. And then the champions that can be used to empower them and have some power in their own right, as well as another pair of really good epics with Stag Knight and Farak in the fat. But the majority of this summon pool is somewhat mediocre. There's like Timid, who is not that great of a champion. There's Hansel, so a couple of legendaries aren't even that great. Hansel, obviously, if you have Gradle, then Hansel and Gradle together can still do things, but Hansel alone is just a little bit weaker. Then we have like Mordecai has some upsides, definitely with that AoE HP burn, and Armina also has some power, and Lady Annabelle can do some solo things in Doom Tower, so there's still some power here, but nothing too special. Not to mention that getting Opardin, Lady Quillen or Signy would be just pretty weak, except if you need Lady Quillen for the Mikage fusion. But even having a weak pull as one of the legendaries, so even if you manage to roll a legendary, which is like, hey, great, I managed to roll a legendary, and then it's Opardin, and then you're like, no. So yeah, there's a few things about this pool that I'm not so super happy about. And how do you get to pull from this pool? Usually there is one event, sometimes there are 2 events that award you with Prism Crystals, so you get a pull for free if you just complete the event. However, this time no events have been confirmed yet. I expect that maybe something is going to be confirmed tomorrow. Almost all of the time, the one event is either Soul Chase or a Gear Ascension. So I'm going to cover those both in some detail here already, just in case one of those gets announced. So Soul Chase is by far my least favorite type of event in Raid Shadow Legends, because the variance is huge. You get points based on the results, so what kind of soul you pull. And even a Mortal Soul Stone can pull you a 6-star mythical soul, so the best possible soul. So yeah, anything can happen. I don't really recommend going for a Soul Chase tournament. And of course, with such variance, it's really hard to evaluate how many Soul Stones would you even need for that one, but here are some averages. The other very common tournament type for these events is Gear Ascension, which is much better. So in Gear Ascension, you do either Sand Devil or you do Phantom Shogun. You get slightly more points in Phantom Shogun, And stage 16, once again, really good stage, beaten only by stage 23 plus in Sand Devil and stage 22 plus in Phantom Shogun for points per energy. Stage 25 in this case being the best one for each. And of course you can also buy Prism Crystals directly from the shop and get those pulls that way. So in conclusion, I do like summon pool events a lot typically. Each pool is like a curated sacred shard. So it has the same probability as a sacred shard, but you can't combine it with a 2x event. And then you know pretty well, okay, what are the possible things that I can get from this sacred shard? You have a lot more variance. So if the pool is good, then pulling from that is really strong. And also the Prism Crystals are a little bit cheaper if you buy them with real money than sacred shards. So there are some definite upsides to summon pools, and I generally like the events, but I don't like this event that much. This pool is not particularly good. Even the odds to pick up an Assassin's Creed champion are lower than the usual headline odds, and there's most likely going to be events that you can get the Assassin's Creed champions from, probably even guaranteed events. We have Cassandra as a fusion, and typically we would get the others, one as a deck, one as a path, possibly one as a tournament first prize. So tournament first prize would only go into one player out of 100. So that of course would be very difficult to get. We don't know yet if we're going to get any of these champions with means like this, but that is very likely. So I wouldn't pull just because those champions are the headlines, also with the very low odds. There are a couple of Mikage fusion pieces. There are some champions that you can use to empower Assassin's Creed champions, so for a big spender, that empowering might be a reason to pull. And there are 3 interesting epics, with Deacon, Farrakhan and Deathknight, but the overall quality is on the low side. So when we're evaluating the overall probability of, okay, I'm going to spend a little bit on this, am I going to get some good stuff? Then the answer is most likely not really. So not one of my favorite summon pools, although there might be a couple of reasons why you might want to pull from it. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.